this is what you do when it's dry. Unfortunately, I'm watering the sidewalk a bit, and there's one little plant that's not getting hit at all. So I'm going to take a pause here and move the sprinkler. Be right back. Okay, that's a little better. We've had quite a bit of growth this week, and that's because it hasn't been miserably hot until the last couple of days. Well, actually the last 3 days have been pretty miserably hot, but cold nights, so that helps a little bit. And in the foreground is Corvette, and Corvette is actually beating Magic Lantern a little bit right now. We do have the beginnings of some male flowers at the bottom, so maybe in a few weeks we'll be looking at pumpkins. We are excuse me, behind past years because I did plant later because of a very, very cold spring, and also because someone told me that the area pumpkin farmers don't actually plant their pumpkins until July. And I will never get brave enough to do that, but maybe with Racer Plus I could do it, because that pumpkin matures very quickly. But with something like this, no, I just don't have the courage. But we had a cold snap the last week of May that left everything stunted for a couple of weeks after that. There was actually frost in some areas around here, which is almost unheard of. So, yeah. Right now, watering the pumpkins. This is Corvette here, Magic Lantern over there. And trying to give them a deep watering because it's supposed to rain, but I don't see a cloud in the sky. So, over here, we got that little pumpkin that I think it's a pumpkin. I'm not sure what this is. I'm pretty sure it's a curcubit of some kind. But it came up in the middle of the lawn, and I didn't have the heart to let the grass cutter run over it. So, yeah, it's putting up leaves, a little bit interesting leaves, as you can see here. Not too sure what it is. Somebody said maybe some bird or something dug one of my pumpkin seeds out of a pot and planted it in the lawn, but I don't think that's it. I think this came from somewhere else. So, we'll see. We'll see. And compost, which is ugly, but that's okay. And over here, we have got Howden pumpkin, which is starting to crawl, not climb, right here. And this is a regular pumpkin. The Corvette pumpkin and the Magic Lantern are short vine pumpkins. And what that does, they start out growing like a bush, little rounded mounds, and then they send out little vines, maybe 10 to 15 feet long, which sounds like a lot, but you know, once they're all climbing over stuff and folded and stuff like that, that's really not that long. And they have pumpkins on the vines. This is just going to be one big long vine with maybe sucker vines on the side. So this could be 25 feet, 30 feet long. So it's out here by itself. And over here we got our sunflowers. I figure by next video they will be open. There's the one I focused on last time. These are miniatures. I didn't do the giants this year. And over here, bush champion cucumber, and starting to attach itself to the trellis. So I'm seeing some buds somewhere. So hopefully by next week we'll start to have mini cucumbers, or maybe the week after. And here's all my tomatoes. Millions of tomatoes. Most of these came up on their own. I think over there is the heirloom that showed up in my garden by itself. And over here is Big Beef, my favorite tomato. Did I say pumpkin just now? I'm always saying pumpkin. Another Big Beef, another Big Beef, another Big Beef, and here is Tam, T-A-M jalapeno, which is a mildly hot jalapeno. Over here is Fooled You jalapeno, which has no heat. And I'm starting to have some faith that I actually will get some peppers out of those plants. They're getting bigger, finally, after sitting there doing nothing for a long, long time. And, yeah, I was going to talk about fertilizer this week. Hold on a sec, I'll go get my fertilizer. Okay. So this year, I believe in Job's fertilizer for the beginning of the season. And for the tomatoes, I started off with Job's tomato spikes. And for everything else, I started off with all-purpose. Just take a handful, throw it on the plant. And once the plants get a good head of steam and they're blooming and all that, I switch to Big Bloom. And the difference here is this has a bit of nitrogen to help the plants grow. This has either none, it has none. No nitrogen at all. So your plants aren't going to get too much nitrogen and just grow and not give you any fruit. And once in a while, if things are looking peaked, I throw some Epsom salt on. So that's my fertilizer. I think next week I'm going to go into my annual GMO rant because so many people misunderstand what a GMO actually is. So, yeah, I think I'll get you with that next week. I do that just about every year. I didn't do it last year because everything died on me. But, yeah, that's what I'll do. And in the meantime, I'll just water the pumpkins deeply because they love water and the sky is not giving it to them. So I'll see you next week. Okay, this is a PS. And why is this on night mode? Never mind. What happened here? There we go. I had the lens cap on. How about that? Well, this is about pumpkin watering. As I'm watering these pumpkins, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. Never water them in the evening if you can help it. Especially if you know you're going to hit the leaves, because they do have a lot of problems with powdery mildew, even if they are powdery mildew resistant. And watering them in the morning may help avoid fungus or fungi forming on the leaves. So yeah, always in the morning if you can manage it. Even if it's 6 o'clock in the morning, that's even better. And water them until there's puddles, 2-3 times a week during a drought. Of course, if it's raining nice and regularly, you don't have to water them at all. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And hopefully this will last a few days until it does start raining again or I have to water again. So, okay, there's my pumpkin growing addendum. See you later.